Hello everybody, welcome to my coffee break. Today I'm going to be trying, I'm going to be making Japanese iced coffee. And what that is, it's actually a pour over ice. It's not necessarily the coffee that's Japanese. But what you do is you take a glass of ice and you pour over, and we're going to put some coffee in here in just a second. But we put the filter in there, and we're going to take our glass of ice, and then we're going to put this over like this. And then we're going to use our kettle with hot water. And what it is Japanese iced coffee is hot water over coffee over ice. The other day, a while back, I guess I went to the Cracked Mug, and I had a Japanese iced coffee, and I guess I didn't understand exactly what it was, because I thought the coffee was from Japan or Japanese coffee, but it was the method. Hey Carlos, thank you for joining me. It was the method that they used to make the iced coffee. Let me see if I can change my chat so that way I can read it just a little bit better. I wonder if I can, there you go. Let's see if we can get that working a little better. So what I did, what I got a Benito Cafe coffee, which is a dark roasted coffee. I just got this at, the orange is kind of messing up with my green screen, but it's already ground. It's a dark roasted coffee. It's from Colombia, 100% Colombian coffee. Morning. Good morning, Coco. Good to see you again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two tablespoons, which is 10 grams. I'm actually going to put probably just a little bit more in my filter. But before I do that, it's always good to saturate. I'm hitting the mic, I'm sorry. To saturate your filter. So I got this cup so I got my kettle, make sure it's really hot. So we're gonna saturate the filter just a little bit before we do anything. So that way, when you start making your pour over, it doesn't take a long time to, there we go. Let's do the other one. I like that. I like the Prism Live Studio. Let me hide the other one. There we go, so we can just see that one. Thank you. How you doing? It's good to see you again, Coco. So I got my filter wet, so that way it doesn't take stop the coffee actually, because when you pour the hot water with the coffee, without saturating the filter, it takes a little bit. Plus the filter, I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, it'll go through a little bit faster. And I keep hitting my mic. My mic's in the way. Let's see if I can move my mic just a bit. I'll move my mic over just a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got our filter saturated, so we need coffee. How you been, Coco? I got Carlos in here too, watching. Carlos is from San Antonio. And let's see, I got it said 2 tablespoons. This scoop is 2 tablespoons, which is 10 grams. So I'm gonna go just a tad more over than 10 grams, because I like my coffee just a little strong. And another thing is, cold brew is, if you make a cold brew, it takes like 8 to 10 hours. You make a Japanese iced coffee, it just takes a few minutes. And cold brew is less acidic than regular coffee, regular pour over. And so Japanese iced coffee it's a little bit more acidic than a cold brew coffee. and it has a real good coffee flavor. Move my mic again. There we go. I hope you can hear me okay. So I got my coffee in my filter and I got it over ice. So we're gonna pour it over here. There we go. Then I'm gonna have my cup over, so that way when I'm finished I can move it over so it don't drip all over my little table here. So we're gonna kind of just go nice and slow. I wish you could see I'll lift it up. I'm gonna get it to bloom. There we go. And see, you can see. Let's pour over it. And it's a little bit darker too. Yeah, look at that. It's a dark roasted coffee. Pretty excited. I had this at a coffee shop here in San Antonio, and I looked it up, and I thought somebody was going, "What? Well, what is a Japanese iced coffee?" So I looked it up, and it's a method. The method that you use to make a pour over. It's all right. No, you didn't get the name wrong. I don't think you did. Nope, you got it right. I'm just gonna, there you go. This smells so good. Oh. So I thought I'd come on and make a iced coffee, a Japanese iced coffee, but it's actually a Japanese iced coffee. I mean, iced coffee pour over. It's actually what it is. I'm gonna put this back up here. See if I can do it without spilling it. And so, see how the coffee is still dripping? So I'm gonna put my cup so I don't drip it everywhere. There we go. So I put it over in a cup. Now, let's see. It smells so good. You know, I guess I could have put a little bit more ice in that. Here in San Antonio, we had like 3 cool days. They got down to like the 50s, something like that. And then tomorrow, it's supposed to get back to the 80s again. So much for cooler weather. But you can always drink an iced coffee here in San Antonio. And I just enjoy iced coffee better than I do than a hot coffee sometimes, because it's more refreshing to me. So remember, the Japanese iced coffee pour over is going to be a little bit more acidic than a cold brew coffee. And remember, it takes about 10 hours to make a cold brew coffee in the refrigerator. And some people, I've heard, when they make a cold brew, they actually just leave it on the counter, like you do, I guess, when you cold brew tea. You just leave it on the counter and let it set there. So I'm going to try that one time, but let's see how this one tastes. Oh, that is really good. You actually get a little bit stronger coffee taste than you would if you just did a cold brew. And a little bit more acidic. Oh, this is really good. I just got a new cap, and so the coldness is actually not today, a couple of days ago, and I was eating a salad. Can you believe that? I was eating a salad, and all of a sudden my tooth shattered, and I go, what? Well, actually I had a cap there, and the cap shattered. I said, eating a salad? Come on. And the dentist laughed. He thought it was funny, kind of. But he had the last laugh because he got my money. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, this is actually really good. I do have a ice coffee machine, and it's a little bit different because you're pouring you're brewing the coffee first and then pouring it over ice. But this, when you do the pour over, it brews into the pour over, but once it hits the ice, it stops the brewing. So this is really good. I would have to give this one like out of 5 coffee cups, I would have had to give this one probably like a 4.85. It's actually really good. So if you try this one, leave a comment down below and let me know on YouTube. I really like this flavor. It really is, like I said, it's a little bit more acidic, so you get that little kick. And if you make a cold brew, it's less acidic, more of just a coffee taste. It doesn't have that bite, I guess you would say, that coffee bite, acidic bite. But anyway, this is actually really good. The Carlos sleeve. It's really good to see you, Coco. I haven't, well, I think the last time you posted pictures of your clams, I think it's clams or prongs. I think you had made prongs last time. I get so hungry seeing those. Oh, this is not a bag. This is a filter. I actually folded it a little bit more because it's actually really big inside this little coffee pour over. It's going to drip everywhere. And it's a filter, so I can pick it up so you can see what it looks like. See, it's a filter, but I folded it on the sides because it's actually bigger. I actually got a large size coffee filter, and these are let's see, what's the name? Melita, I think it's called. This is that's what the coffee filters are called. So, but I had to fold it just a little bit for it to fit inside there so it wouldn't be so high. But I do have coffee filters that are actually they're tea infused filters, and I use those. Hey, thank you, Lonely Lizard, for joining me. How you doing? Thank you for joining me on Twitch. I made a Japanese iced coffee, and it was actually a Japanese pour over coffee, and you use a pour over, and then you use a filter, and I used a little more than 10 grams of coffee, which is over 2.5 teaspoons of coffee. And the coffee that I used, I got Venito Cafe, dark roasted coffee, 100% Colombian. This one is actually really good. I actually made my iced coffee machine. I used this, and I really liked it. And I want to make a cold brew with that, but I thought I'd make this pour over coffee. Let's see, how does a pour over taste? A pour over is a little bit more acidic than a cold brew. If you make it like on your just a cup of coffee and pour over, is actually really good. It's a little, it's a little bit stronger, a little bit acidic, but not as acidic as if you would brew coffee. This Japanese iced coffee is you pour over ice, and the ice is pretty much melted now. But what I do is I took my just like this. I put it over a glass of ice, and then I use my kettle and I pour it over. Once it's brewing, it's blooming in the pour over, and once it hits the ice, it stops brewing. It stops the brewing process, and so you get a little bit more of an acidic coffee that you would in a cold brew. Cold brew is a little bit more smoother and less acidic, but this one gives you that little kick. It's really good. In my kettle, my Bodum kettle. When I started the water to start boiling, I wait till it gets like a really good. How would you say it? You can really hear it starting to boil, I guess. And I don't let it go all the way through till it stops. I actually stop it probably about the middle, because when you let it go too long, it's really super hot. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's really cool. I had actually got a Japanese iced coffee at a coffee shop here in San Antonio called the Crag Mug. And I really didn't know exactly what a Japanese iced coffee was. So I actually looked it up online, because I thought they were using like a Japanese brand of coffee, so that would make it Japanese coffee. But Japanese iced coffee is actually a pour over ice. It's the method. That's why they call it a Japanese iced coffee. So I learned something. So that was really cool. It does make well, if I made a hot pour over, it would be again a little stronger, but it's not as strong as a brew coffee. But it is really good. It's still warm here in San Antonio to drink a iced coffee, but I actually enjoy more iced coffee or cold brew than I do hot coffee, because it's just, I don't know, I just think I enjoy it more. But I do occasionally like a hot coffee. So it's really good to see everybody joining this morning. I hadn't seen Lonely Lizard or Coco in a while, so that's really neat. I really appreciate you guys joining me. I could have put more ice. I actually did. I put about this much ice. I probably could, since it's hot water. And I could have put a little bit more ice, but it's a little chilly. Oh, it's been good. I've been doing good. Working. We're a little bit busier at work now. We still have restrictions at work, but not as much. More on the employees. We had to wear cool. What are you having for breakfast, Coco? I haven't had breakfast yet. I wanted to do this first. So, but at work, we're required to still wear a mask. The guests, the customers, we call them guests. We encourage it, but we don't enforce it. And but other than that, everything's well. I've been trying to. I got a new gimbal, and so I really want to go test that out, and I haven't had a chance. Actually, I want to probably use it when I go to like coffee trucks, so that way you can see the areas, and I can actually, instead of just sitting down and having my coffee, I can go up to the window and be filming while I'm ordering my coffee. Hash browns, oh wow, beef sausage. Sounds good. I like, let's see. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it'd be more stable instead of walking around with my phone. What happened was, the way I was able to, I got a DMI OM4, so I'm pretty excited. It took, I'll tell you how I got it. At work, we were short-handed on birthday hostesses, so I actually did a few parties, and then even though I don't really accept tips, but they wanted to give me a tip, so like 3 parties, I did 3 parties, and with those tips, I bought the gimbal. So I even asked my wife, I said, is it okay if I buy a gimbal? And she goes, yeah, you can buy a gimbal. It's always nice to ask your wife if you can, especially, it's money that, it could be used for other things, right? And I was really surprised. I told the people that they really didn't have to. I mean, they really didn't have to. I do it as part of a service, not to be getting tips, but they said, yeah, we want to do this. And I said, okay. So the only thing is, when I went to buy, I bought a mic to go. So I have an iPhone, and they sold me a mic that plugs into the iPhone. Well, when I put the phone on the gimbal, the microphone was hitting the motor. So I said, this is not right. So I looked up on YouTube. That's what's pretty amazing about YouTube, is you can learn a lot of stuff. If you need to know something, you can search for a video. And it was actually, I got the wrong mic, so I had to take that. Excuse me. I had to take that back and get another one. And then I had to buy a little strap kind of thing that goes around the handle to put the mic on. So, and I put it together, and I just got to figure it out. But I actually wanted the DMI, I think it's called DMI, the third one, but the only one is they had was the 04, I guess it's called. But yeah, I'm not trying to brag, or I'm kind of like that. I'm not that kind of person. So, but I was kind of, I told my friend MJ, I said, I was a little embarrassed, but it was really cool that I was able to do that. But Anyway, this coffee is really good. Hey, if you tried this coffee, let me know. All you need is a coffee filter and a little pour over. I bought this. This is not a fancy dancy pour over. This pour over thing cost me like $3 at my grocery store. They do have fancier ones, but you can buy a fancier one. And I think there's some that you can, where it doesn't pour until you like push down on the cup, because you can put your water, and then when you, I forgot what that one's called. It has a name, but I forgot what it was. But anyway, when you push down on the cup, that's when it actually pours out. So, but this one does good for me. See, I had to see if they have a coffee here. This coffee I bought at the grocery store, and this is Nito Cafe. And this is a dark roasted coffee, and it says it's high robust body, dark chocolate notes, and low acidity. But you can use any coffee to make this, and this one cost, I think, $8. I did try Cuvée coffee, and that one was $11. But I normally try not to spend too much money on coffee, because you can get good coffees without spending a lot of money. And I think the Cuvée coffee, when I got it, it had like a, sometimes the grocery store here, oh, do you buy your coffee around at the store or online? Well, I mostly buy whole bean coffee, but sometimes some of the coffees that I get are already grounded. But I like to grind my own beans, and sometimes I buy them in bulk. I talk with my hands. Sorry. When you go to the grocery store, sometimes they have bulk coffee. And I usually like to buy those because I can get as much as I want. I don't have to buy a whole 12-ounce bag of coffee. And if I want to just try those, I haven't really bought coffee online. I just buy it at the grocery store here, or pretty much the store is called HEB, and they pretty much saturated San Antonio. Pretty much kicked out all other grocery chains like Albertsons, Kroger's. We do have a Trader Joe's, so we do have a Whole Foods. And sometimes I go to Whole Foods and see what coffees they have. Trader Joe's don't sell a whole lot of coffee. They more about their brand. We don't. Kroger's moved out like a long time ago. Albertsons recently, probably about 4 years ago, they left. But HEB is actually, they're opening up a store in Dallas. Oh yeah, we have a Sprouts too. We have a Sprouts too. It's a little further from me, but I've actually gone there several times and bought coffee. They have bulk coffees too, and they're really not that expensive. Sometimes, like, well, Whole Foods is pretty expensive here. And like, if I went to Whole Foods and I bought, say, a pound of Let's just say broccoli. If I bought a pound of broccoli, per pound it's more expensive at Whole Foods because because it's organic and stuff like that. And if I went to H-E-B, it'd be a little bit cheaper. Sprouts. I haven't really been to Sprouts in a while. I've gone. They had that. I bought that. It's called Nudge. It's a coffee candy. I went there one time and because I heard that they had that, so I wanted to try that on my video, and they had that. It's like an espresso. Yeah, it's like espresso candy called Nudge. Trader Joe's. They're not too far from me. The Trader Joe's here is just really small. It's a really small store. And Whole Foods is huge. Oh, cool. Where it comes from. I'm going to change the color of text. Let's see. I think with the background I have, it's a little hard to see. And plus, I wear bifocals, and so I need to get, I need to actually get what they call computer glasses. And probably the next time I got a note from my ophthalmologist, I guess that's what you call. They said I haven't been there since 2017. I said, what? 2017? I haven't had I keep, let's see, move it just a little. But yeah, so next time I go, I'm probably going to get whatever new prescription that I need, which I really not sure yet if I do need a new prescription, but probably. I'm getting older, so usually when you get older, you need a new prescription. And I'm going to ask them for computer glasses. My friend MJ got new computer glasses, and they look pretty good on him. And then that way I don't have to keep lifting, because when I lift up to the bifocal part to read the lettering, you can see my lights in my glasses. So yeah. Oh, got ice. Man, I've been on 30 minutes. 33 minutes. I hope school's going great for you, Lonely Lizard. Working hard, going to school. Cool. Well, I guess I'm going to sign off. I've been on 33 minutes. I didn't even realize it. See, when you're having fun chatting with friends, it's pretty cool. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining me today on my coffee break. And remember, coffee and friends make a perfect blend. And if you try this coffee, well, write a note in the comment below and let me know if you liked it and tried it. Hey, you have a great day too. And Coco, have a great day also. And we'll see everybody next time on Kinrod's Coffee Break. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye.